You're listening to the Integrated Business Planning Podcast.
I know you talked about this in the past, and I think, just around a kind of key skill, not just for finance, but just, with the management team is around storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can elaborate on, the importance or how you see storytelling and how it's helped you either in your role or, achieving, moving towards your BHAG.
Yeah, it's a good question because, and I think I look at storytelling from the perspective of trying to look into the future versus, I think, a lot of time from a finance perspective, especially from an accounting perspective, you spend a lot of time in the past and you're reporting on results that have already happened. And there's value there, especially from a confirmation point of view, right? Like if you're running the business correctly, then the results are just going to be a confirmation that you're running the business correctly, right? But you're definitely not getting as much value out of the numbers as you could be if you were forecasting the numbers. So the storytelling, in my mind anyways, comes from your ability to help people see what's important in the business. So from, like in my manufacturing world that I live in, like production throughput on a weekly basis is important. So building the story around how many trailers we want to manufacture this week, and with those dashboards, having that visible helps our production teams rally and create that story for themselves, right? From an efficiency point of view, like obviously how we manage our working capital is really important. So metrics around inventory days, receivables, kind of things like that, looking forward as to what we're expecting the week to look like, helps our teams really understand what their goals are for the week and what's important for them to be working on so that we can continue in the right direction on our journey, right? So it's trying to make the numbers as dynamic as possible and give visibility to people so that they can change the numbers is where the power comes from.
So weaving, like, I'm a big proponent of this as well. It's all about, well, we say forecasting, but telling the story on how you can paint the picture, even over the next quarter. What does that look like? And communicating it in a way that probably shows how the individuals on the production line that are doing the daily work and hitting the daily targets is helping achieve goals over maybe through working capital, through what you're trying to achieve from a revenue or profitability standpoint. So everyone knows that, hey, we've got our big community event or working towards something that they feel they're part of, I guess, right? And it's a story that helps.
Exactly. And there's a Japanese concept in the Toyota production system, Hogenson, cascading KPIs, right? So linking what I should be focusing on as a production worker to, the goals of the facility goals to the goals of the organization, right? And each support department likewise. So really helping everyone understand whether they're winning or losing each day, right? So, and then if you can give people that direction, then that creates more motivation and more buy-in. Something we like to do kind of outside of just financial goals and metrics as well too, to keep up morale and camaraderie, is every quarter we have a quarterly theme.
Yeah.
And it's generally focused either around safety or like a 5S initiative, cleanliness, something like that, quality, or just personal improvement. So our quarterly theme this quarter is better every day. So we want team members to set personal goals that are somewhat of a stretch goal. So to better either themselves from a professional standpoint or a personal standpoint, really doesn't matter. But we want everyone to be focusing on how they can be better at the end of this quarter than they are today. So we've got an entire team, like our marketing team, they're all smokers. They've all committed to stop smoking, for example. We've got people who are focused on saving money for weddings or for trips or, losing weight, kind of things like that, finishing renovations, some pretty cool goals that we've seen kind of come out of this. But it's cool for for everybody to be rallied around personal improvement or professional improvement. So, and that's important to keep people engaged, right? Mm-hmm. And from my perspective, anyways, it helps me realize that it's not always just about the business. It's about life as well too, right? And quality of life.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if you have that engagement with your team members, then that allows us as a team, when times are a little bit more difficult, to stay cohesive and come through the other side together.
Yeah, building those just strong relationships.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Integrated Business Planning Podcast. If you have a transformational story to tell, or would like to drop some wisdom or share some insights about your experience or your journey, I'd love to have you on the podcast. So please reach out. Thank you.